Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kings of Cold podcast. My name is Brad Gates. I am your host, a C38 refrigeration contractor and founder of Cold King Mechanical. Today's guest is a pretty powerful internet presence at his young age. He's a very impressive young man with a bright future in the trade. I love his content. Welcome to the show, Mr. Anthony, better known to some of you probably as Ant_does HVAC on IG. Welcome to the show, sir.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming on. For my guests out there, who are you? What do you do? And how did you end up in the trades that you're in today?
So, as you said, my name's Anthony. I ended up in the trades because my pops was a chiller tech throughout my life. And then from there, he kind of introduced me to a young age. Before I even knew I wanted to do HVAC, I was a young kid brazing and figuring out what a capacitor was. So, yeah, he told me I had to learn how to fix things, whether or not I wanted to do this as a career or not. Kind of went from there. So, out of high school, jumped in straight to trade school, and then jumped into a commercial industrial company. So it's kind of went from there.
Okay, that's pretty badass. So you kind of been around it your whole life. You're what we would call generational technician then. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I learned a lot. As a kid, obviously, I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. You know what I mean? I don't know what a capacitor was. I would just hop in on side jobs. I didn't know what I was looking at. And then once I kind of entered school, it made sense and everything just kind of clicked. So,
Okay. So you did go to school. You went to a trade school to get spun up on the trade overall?
yeah. I went to Brownson Technical School in Anaheim.
Okay.
It was a pretty good school. From what I heard, it was the best company or the best school around, so
Okay.
that's the one I chose.
Okay. And what do you do most days now? What's your day-to-day look like?
So my day-to-day, like just yesterday, I was doing maintenance for IntelliPacks and then a couple of boilers. I was mainly just maintenances on a lot of large rooftop units and then service. I do a lot of service. I'm a service tech. So obviously we still do maintenance, but a lot of troubleshooting as well is involved. So just depends on the season. Summertime's kicking around, so I'm sure everything's going to start picking up. So,
Yeah, it seems like it's been summer all year already here in Southern California. That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
Maintenance is super important. A lot of people kind of overlook maintenance. And I know in the big plants that I've worked on, it's live and die by the maintenance because you can't have the systems going down. What do you think about that perspective?
No, I think maintenance is super important. I mean, we catch a lot of things on the maintenance, and that's one thing I stress with the customers that we got in the company is just stressing how important the maintenance is. I mean, we go to places that we don't maintenance, that some of these other cats will maintenance, and they're doing a shit job, And they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you have a maintenance contract?" And be like, "Oh no, we do with these people," or "No, we don't. We just let it ride until it takes a shit, and then we call people out." Like, dude, that's not how it works. It's like pay now or pay later. Either way, you're still gonna
Yeah.
have to pay. You might as well have somebody come every few months to check up
hmm
on the unit, do the inspections, and make sure everything's running smooth. But I
Yeah.
mean, there's a shitstorm that comes with all that stuff if you don't at least look at your unit.
You're
Especially with
100%
the
right.
larger units.
Yeah.
Those larger units will take down 2 floors, 3 floors, depending on how they're set up. Those boxcars can go half a building, 4 floors, and just straight down half the building, or just
Wow.
occupy an entire floor. And boom, it just takes a shit because nobody maintenances them.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where we come in and at least try to get a contract going for them or whatever, and then kind of
hmm
at least be there doing the do, get them back online.
Yeah, that's badass. I recently found out, I mean, I obviously knew it was there, but I didn't even realize that the work that you're doing pretty much every day even existed. I had Bobby Armstrong on the show recently, and he's built a bunch of high rises in Arizona and shit like that. And he does the big buildings like you're doing that cool many floors. I guess you'd call it industrial HVAC, right? It's massive, but I never thought about that because when I hear industrial, I think of warehouses, but there's a whole world of industrial HVAC out there that I never realized existed. And I watch your content and I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty big stuff.
Yeah, no, dude, there's a lot out there. I mean, that's the cool thing about the company I work for. There's tons and tons of exposure. Just in the short time that I've been in here, I've soaked up so much. Like it's like a sponge. You have to be. If you don't, it's sink or swim. And
hmm
I'm gonna be swimming. That's it. So I
I
just
love
I
that.
try to learn as much as I can, dude. There's tons out there. I'm learning constantly. As soon as I think I got it down, and then you learn something else about the unit.
Yeah. And then new shit's constantly coming out right behind it that we have to constantly pick up and learn for sure. So that's badass and good for you. For people that don't know, he's been in the trade. He's coming up on 5 years now. And if you look at his content and you look at the information that this young man puts out there, he's already working like somebody who's been in this trade 10, 15, maybe 20 years. It's very impressive. So I definitely encourage you to look him up if you don't already know who he is, and check out his content because it's very incredible and it's impressive for someone his age for sure.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Your content is pretty incredible. And speaking of your content, what made you start posting HVAC content anyway? How'd that come about?
Honestly, dude, that's I was seeing a lot of resi guys post, and I didn't see too much of the commercial stuff.
Hmm.
So I saw the opportunities that they were gaining from the social media, and I was like, maybe I can do that too. I don't want to shit on the resi guys, you know what I mean? But you can only see so much, you know what I mean? And
Right.
then that's why when you look to to the commercial side, it's like some of these guys who are either in school or on the like commercial side, they can at least somewhat get exposed at least via social media to what's actually out there. So I thought I
Yeah.
was like, all right, let me start a page. Let me share my knowledge or go from there and maybe I can bounce ideas or connect with some other people to at least learn something else myself. And that's what I did. And it was super rewarding, dude. I honestly like the social media now. It's like a little part-time job now, dude. First it was a
Yeah.
hobby, and now you got obligations for it. You know, because
Yeah.
like these people actually depend on seeing your social media, going be like, hey, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on this? Can you explain this? I mean, dude, I get constant DMs about people asking me how to do this, how to do that, or just
Hmm.
what does this mean? They send me pictures of the pressures, or they show me what exactly they're looking at, and I'll walk them through it. You know, I don't mind. I don't want to be an asshole and be like a little bit of followers or whatever changed who I was as a person. Do we all started from nothing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all had to learn from the bottom, just like everybody else. So that's
Yeah.
one thing for me too. Is I wanted to pride myself on answering all my DMs, answering as many people as I can in a timely manner or whatever, if I got the time. And sometimes I'll lag because I'm busy too. I'm in the heat of it.
Sure.
But if I can get back to him, I'm gonna fucking help somebody because I need help. Dude, the first 2 years of my career, I was fucking calling somebody like day and night, dude. Like that same person got at least 10 or 20 calls from me in
Yeah.
commercial, you know what I mean? Until that after that 2 year hit, I didn't fucking call nobody. Cause then I
Right.
learned everything. But you
Yep.
know, we all need a little bit of information and we all need a little bit of help. That doesn't
Yeah.
stop. So that's why I figure. So I
Dude, I
like the
love that.
gratitude that it comes with it. It's super rewarding in that way.
I love that, man. And coming from gratitude is a beautiful place to come from, and it's very powerful. And you can kind of only go up from there. Did you expect your page to grow the way that it has grown into, or was that just kind of like a on accident type deal?
I honestly didn't think for it to grow. I kind of learned. I don't know if some of the guys out there have seen my first few videos, and like I had to learn how to edit and do everything. But I just kind of like just wanted to throw myself out there. I'm kind of
Hmm.
like LinkedIn. You know what I mean? You're building a resume and be like, hey, I can do this shit. Look at the videos I made. I do this shit real time. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's why I think that's probably the part of it as to why I wanted to start it too. But yeah, no, I didn't think it was gonna blow up at all. Some of these videos get crazy views. I mean, dude, I'm getting constant at least 15,000 views each video. You know, I'm nowhere huge from where I need to be or where I want to be. And I've been
Right.
told too that I should be bigger because of the amount of knowledge I'm spewing out. Because I'm not just doing like regular videos or transfers, you know what I mean? Like just
Right.
making I'm actually troubleshooting. People tell me, "Oh,
Hmm.
dude, your page should be bigger." But like, dude, I'm just going along with the ride, you know what I mean? As if I can at least help some one person, fuck, that's good enough for me, you know what I mean? They learn some
Fuck
shit.
yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. How did you learn to edit and stuff like that? Did you just kind of trial and error? What was your method to learn that kind of shit?
That was I would say more watching some of the other guys, because 'cause I'll be honest, dude, before I started the social media thing, I never watched videos like the ones I make. I
Hmm.
never did. That wasn't how I learned. I wasn't a YouTube guy, I wasn't an Instagram guy. I mean, I had social media, but I barely fucking did anything. I'll probably look up YouTube to watch music videos, you know?
Hmm.
So, once I actually started making the content, I started finding other creators, and I tried seeing how they edited their videos and, like, how they did, and then from there, it was kinda just a learning process on my own, with the edits app and everything. I just had to figure out what worked. It took tons and tons of videos for that to happen, but eventually I got it down. And then now edits are good, you know, sometimes it just depends on what people want to see as well, how big the videos go for, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you
But yeah.
think it's harder than people think it is, or do you think it's easier than people think it is at this point, now that you've been doing it for a while?
I think it's both. I think if you have somebody who's doing it already and kind of can help you along the way, I think that'll be easy. You know, like for me, it took a little bit of time, so it was a little bit on the harder side. But social media
Mhm.
is not that bad. The only thing is like you'll have like 60 minutes of footage, and then you got to condense that shit to a reel. You know what I mean? And
Right,
it's like, oh,
right.
here's 60 minutes of footage. Now I got to make it a minute and a half.
Yeah.
That's the hard part because 'cause I've spent 30 minutes to sometimes at the long side of it, an hour of just editing and making sure it's good, throwing some music in the background, making sure you can still hear me. I mean, I had to buy mic sets too. Like I was using AirPods for videoing too, and the footage just sounded like shit
Hmm.
because you have these big ass compressors that are going in the background and everything. And I had to buy a mic set when I record. That way you can cut out the background noise and you can actually hear what I'm saying. That way I'm not screaming at my phone.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us a little bit more about the equipment that you use to bring in your content and create it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so initially with my first few videos, I was working on the smaller package units, like 5 to 10 tons. And then I did have some other larger box cars that I was working on. From there, I just kind of integrated everything I was working on. If I felt it was something that I could share, I was open to it. So like I have a few videos with like some CGAM chillers, a lot of boxcar units, meaning large rooftop units, anything usually over 60 tons. So that can be in telepacks, the McQuays, the Daikin's, even carriers. You know, we don't see a whole lot of carrier rooftop units, the larger ones. We do have a few accounts that have them, but it's mostly in telepacks and Daikin's you see out there. So I kind of throw that in the mix, how to troubleshoot those. A lot of it usually is between that 10 to 25 ton that people like to gravitate towards, but I like to throw in the IntelliPacks as well and what to look for. Like recently, I threw up a video from a Daikin unit, how to troubleshoot those core sense modules, the compressor
Hmm.
protection modules for the
Yeah.
coupling compressors. Like that, a lot of people like that shit too. So I was like, hey, if I feel like I can share about it, fuck it, I'm gonna throw it up. I don't know if anybody's gonna learn something, but I feel like if I know enough about it, I'm gonna share a video on it. If I'm learning myself and fuck, I barely just learned this right now, I ain't gonna make a video about it. You know what I mean? Because fuck, I don't know what I'm talking about yet. So
Yeah,
that's
I
yeah.
got you. And then everybody wants to flame you, man. It's crazy the people in the comments and putting yourself out there is a one thing. You know, you always got some asshole talking shit, keyboard warriors running their mouth, and they're like, "You said this, and you should have said." Well, fuck you, dude. Go sit back down to your mom's couch or whatever, you know. But that's pretty crazy to throw yourself out there like that. I've just figured it out since the podcast myself. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, dude, that's one thing I tell people all the time too, because I got a couple of my boys that are doing social media now. I told them to hop on it, dude, because there's tons of opportunity with it. I was like, the one
Yeah,
thing I tell them is you got to make sure you're correct on what the fuck you're talking about. Because if you fucked up your wording or something like that, you're gonna have somebody trolling you or dogging you because you fucked up your terminology or you just didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like I've came across a few videos myself, and I'll DM them on the side and be like, hey, dude, you fucked up. This is not what that means, whatever. Because I'm
yeah,
not trying to flame anybody big time, but it's like
yeah,
it's or troll anybody because it's like that's the same thing with me. I've had people be like, "Oh, what about this?" or "What about that?" I had a video that I
yeah,
put up like a while ago. I was looking at the video and I was like, "Fuck, I fucked up." And I was like, "Dude, I totally shared the wrong information." It was like one of my early videos a long time ago, and I was like, "See, but some people caught it, some people didn't." Like,
yeah.
but you got to be correct because the people who know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's always somebody out there going, "Well, that's actually technically not correct," you know. And
Yeah.
you definitely don't want to kill nobody. That's for sure. You're just like, "Oh, whatever you do, don't touch these two to your fucking eyeballs or whatever. You put these wires on your eyeballs, you're not gonna like it."
Yeah, see, that's the cool thing too is about my content is I try to stress about being correct on what I'm talking about. I haven't
Yeah,
had too many people try to dog me out or troll me, but
that's
I
good.
like I had one recently. I was working on I think it was a boiler, and then this guy was saying some stupid shit, and I just responded like I thought it was funny. I was like, man, I see this guy's trying to troll me, and I was like, you need to chill out, Tommy Tough Knuckles. And I was like,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
was like, it's just content, dude. I was like, you need to
yeah,
chill out.
yeah, for sure.
Some people
I mean,
Dude, yeah, I laughed when I throw it out there. That's all. It makes me laugh all the time. The Tommy Tough Knuckles is just hilarious, dude.
that's a good
Yeah,
one,
I don't
dude.
know.
That's how I'm just talking shit back to people too. I'm just like, whatever, dude. I'm like, I don't have a boss. I don't have no fucking companies that pay me or do nothing. So I don't got to put up with nobody's bullshit. I'm just like, oh, and fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. And they're all people that are pretty much, I'm like, where's your fucking page? Where's your content? Where are you putting yourself out there? What are you doing? You know, just sitting around on your couch talking shit? Fine, dude. I don't care. Nobody cares.
Dude,
Go
a lot
home.
of them are some yeah, dude, a lot of them are some weird motherfuckers, dude. Like, you look they're fucking weird. Like, even their profile or what they post or whatever, I was like, "Dude, and you're dogging on me?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, "What do you look like?"
Yeah, for sure. I follow this dude on Instagram on my personal page. It's just Chris is his Instagram page, and he's fucking hilarious. He got like face tattoos and shit. And when people talk shit, he goes on their page and he does this little segment where he's like, "This is my segment of people talking shit but leaving their page public." And he's all, "Check this motherfucker out," with his like, and then he just goes and just like fucking busts their balls the whole time, dude. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back on track with what we're talking about here. Does posting change how you work? Does creating content change the way you work, do you think?
I think I mean, initially, I loved taking service calls. That was for me. I loved doing it because it was an opportunity for me to learn. Now, I still like to take the service calls, but now it's like, boom, that's content right there.
Yeah.
I'm about to post some shit and someone's gonna fucking like it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I think that was like an added plus with the content stuff. It was like, hey, that's content. Fuck it,
Yeah.
I'll take the call. That's content. Why not? That way, it's something for somebody to learn. Sometimes the calls are like fucking nuisance calls, and you're like, whatever. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I mean, I've always liked working, dude. I'm bored at home twiddling my thumbs, dude. There's only so much time I can be on my phone. After that, I'm like, fuck, I need to do something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's a good point that you made about as far as like any service call is an opportunity to make content. And I kind of work on that a little bit with my business page, but I always forget to record shit. I'll go in there and I'll have all the best intentions and I'll be like, oh, fucking iced up coil. I'll take pictures of the iced up coil and then I'll take some pictures here and then I'll forget to take a picture of that motherfucker after I got it de-iced or something. And then I get home and I'm all, God damn it. I fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about, dude, when you're making the content. Like, if you want a video or whatnot, like, you gotta make sure you're saying what the fuck you're saying. 'Cause, dude, I've made so many videos off of just one unit because I fucked up. Or I said something wrong, and I wish I would have said this or whatnot, and then I forgot to do some things. I'm like, fuck. I was like, well, there goes that. It happens. There's a lot with it. And, sometimes too, like depending on the job, you just can't record because it's like I've done some crazy jobs where I mean, we're in this cooling tower, dude. It was like four cooling towers together. Fucking hugest cooling tower I've ever seen, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you got walk-in doors and everything like that to go to the next tower and everything.
Yep.
We had to change out a 45 horse motor
Yep.
coming down. It was shaft down.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's like that type of thing. I can't fucking hold the phone and record because I don't have the metas. I don't got a GoPro or anything like that. I just use my
Yeah.
phone. So I was
Yeah.
like, when shit like that, I wish I can record and see that shit. But
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, fuck, dude, you got to put the phone down. You know what I mean? You got to handle because that's some dangerous shit you're working on.
Yeah, probably time for some metas, I'm guessing. I know Bobby
Yeah,
Armstrong. I don't know if you know him, Blue Collar Code. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if you
I
follow
saw
him
him
or
at
not, but
AHR, dude. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
he wears
met
a
him at the.
GoPro.
Yeah, no, I seen he has that and the Oakley metas. So
Yeah,
I was like, shit, maybe I got to start thinking about something like that because I met him at AHR and then he was at the HVAC tactical event
yeah, that
when I
dude's
was
cool
there
as
too.
fuck.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he was cool.
yeah. Did you get some awards or something at that event, or were you like in the
I
running
did.
for some of those? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was nominated for category, and then when I got there, I was nominated in for service technician, and then I ended up winning the award for that.
Wow, that's pretty badass.
So
Tell us about that. How was that?
dude,
How'd that go?
it was pretty bad. I really liked it. I didn't expect it. I mean, I hit up Ben on the HVAC Techco his Instagram because I got an email from it, and it
Hmm.
just said you're nominated, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? And I was like, "I've never even heard of this." So I was
Yeah,
like, I took a screenshot, I emailed it to him, and then he was like, "Oh no, yeah, it's a real thing." I had to figure out what the HVAC Tactical event was, and then come to
yeah,
find out, it's like the Grammys for HVAC. And
yeah,
I was like, I didn't even know this shit existed. That it was just kind of a trip. And then so long story short, I ended up going to Vegas and then meeting just tons of creators, dude. They're out there. And
yeah.
the event was cool, dude. I mean, they feed you and then you end up having giving a speech. Dude, my speech, everybody said my speech was good, but dude, I was like towards the end of it, I was fucking shaking in my boots, dude. I was like, fuck, I figured out I had stage fright, never had that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Nobody has stage fright till it's time to go up on stage, and then you're just like, wait a
yeah.
fucking minute here, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. I was like the first half I was okay, and then after that I was like, all right, we're starting to shake a little bit, I was like, cool.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, and I love that story. I didn't really know about the HVAC. I mean, I was kind of into the trade stuff, but not till I started the podcast did my podcast page is just trade stuff. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
So I found all those guys. I found all the A team, the Canadian boys up there. They're all cool as hell. The HVAC doctor, and I found the HVAC tactical guys and blue collar code, red collar, all the guys that have been on the show, so far, and it's pretty incredible. I didn't even realize that world was out there, and I'm very proud of all those guys for bringing such a positive light to the trade as a whole, and guys like you who are really putting the information out there. It's badass, and I'm super proud to be a tiny part of it in some way. So good on you for that, and congratulations again for winning that award. I was watching those AHR, all the content coming in, and I was like, fuck, I should be there. I had just started the podcast page, and I was like, dude, that's like a fucking 3.5 hour drive. I should be there. And next year it's in Chicago, so I don't think I'm going to drag my ass to Chicago, but that's pretty
Yeah.
badass.
That's what I had to think about too, dude. I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "I kinda wanna go to Chicago because everybody's like, 'You gonna go? You're gonna go? You're gonna go?'" Because, dude, you connect with fucking so many people you didn't even know about. Like, did a lot of these guys, like Blue Collar Code, we connected on Instagram before AHR and everything, and then once I saw him, like, there's HVAC Slim, bunch of those guys. I ended up seeing them at the HVAC Tactical Awards. I was like, "Hey," I was like, "I fucking know you guys." I was like, "What's
Yeah,
up?" And they're like, "Hey, we know you too." So we just kinda connected, and then, dude, there's so many people at AHR. People would just start coming up to you and be like, "Hey, you're Adna's HVAC?" And I was like, "Yeah." You know, and I was
dude.
like, "Fuck, you guys know me?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Am I that
Yeah,
big?"
dude.
So, I
I
didn't think
love
I
that.
had that much of an impact. Because I mean, dude, I'll fucking hear stories, like, even a lot of my coworkers, they'll go to, parts houses, and these fucking people ask for me, like, "Hey, you know Ant? You know Ant?" They're like, and I'm like, "Fuck, like, are you serious?" The people ask you that? They're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm over here tripping out because I don't even get
Yeah,
any of that. I just fucking work." That was
yeah.
it.
I'm just doing my job, bro. What do you want from me?
Yeah, that's why I tell people all the time. I was like, "Dude, I'm just another cat who decided to pick up a phone and start recording." I was like, "That's it."
Yeah,
Other than that, in my day to day, I'm a regular guy. That's why I always stress, like, dude, I'm gonna answer my DMs. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm not gonna fucking change who I am just because of a little bit of publicity. Fuck
yeah.
that. At the end of the day, dude, we eat shit, sleep just like everybody else. You know what I
Fuck
mean?
yeah.
So why do I gotta act indifferent to people? You know?
Yeah, good for
That's
you,
it.
man. And that's a good way to be for sure. Do you think that the older technicians like that you work with or that you know from around, do you think they understand this space and this like content creation side of the trades? Do you think that they get it?
Not a whole lot of it, man. It's I think you have to be kind of in it, or just looking at social media, seeing that stuff, getting exposed to the HVAC tactical shit, or going to AHR to be able to see that shit. 'Cause a few of my bosses or even like coworkers would be like, "That's a thing," be like, "Yeah," and then they see the sponsors that I get, and they're like, "Oh fuck it, this shit's real," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, dude, and these people will give you the world, if you got a
Yeah,
decent following." And they'll sponsor you. You just got to make videos for them or whatever, and then you got all these tools and whatnot,
yeah,
boots, tools, shirts, hats, it doesn't matter. You get them, and it's like
yeah.
it's a trip. I didn't even know, I still trip out all the time about that stuff.
Yeah, I love that, dude. That's fucking cool. Do you think social media as a whole is hurting or helping the trades? What's your take on that?
And I think it depends on the technician, and then being able to validate the actual video that you're watching. Because like I said, my thing is I try to stress that I'm correct in what I'm talking about in my videos. Because you
Hmm.
can have I've like I said, I've seen some videos where these people are talking out of their ass. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then you got some of these green guys or guys in school that'll just eat that shit up. And they'll
Yep.
be like, "Oh yeah, this is that." And then going around thinking this is how you do something when it's totally the wrong way. And it's like, no, that's not what that means. That's not what this means. That's not how you do that.
Hmm.
I mean, there's gonna be a million ways to do a million different things, but it's like the main thing is stressing that you're correct about what you're talking about. Doesn't matter how you
Yeah.
get it done, but at least know what you're talking about. So it's like, I think that's the only part that I would say that would be bad about social media that would hurt the trade is that if you're absorbing the wrong knowledge, then you're gonna be doing something all fucked up, and then it's gonna bite you in the ass because some
Yeah.
dumbass put it up on his page, and it so happened to work for him.
Yeah, he got lucky. He got lucky. Or a lot of people don't verify. I notice people they'll do work and then they just walk away. They don't check the shit. Like one of the things I'm very thorough on is like whenever I do something, I make sure that what the fuck I just did actually worked. Run it through its
Yeah.
paces. Like if you put a new compressor in, check the oil failure, check the high pressure cutout, check the low pressure cutout. Make sure everything's working right. Because if you put a compressor in, there's probably a reason why the old one failed. And if you don't find that shit, the new one's gonna die too. And then you're gonna have some fucking splaining to do.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to look at. Like for us too, we gotta in the company I work for, when we replace compressors, in that sense, if it comes with an overload and contactor, we're replacing those too. The compressor's going along with it. We're testing the oil, right, to see if it's all fucked up or not, depending on if you could reuse your refrigerant or not. You know what I mean? Most of the times, if it's a blend, you're just throwing in virgin refrigerant anyway. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much shit to check with that, and in some senses too, like if it happens to be a metering device or anything like that, you won't know. You won't know unless you put the new compressor in and be like, "All right, yeah, your metering device is fucked up," but you gotta go through your series of checks.
Yeah.
And it's like it's pressures, temperatures. We write all this shit down or we take pictures of it, and then
Uh-huh.
we have a platform where it's pictures and videos that
Yeah.
they got picture proof of that shit. So like a year from now, you'll be able to see those pictures and videos, be like, "Oh, this is what's going on with that unit.
That's
That's what
smart.
happened." So we take amtrals, temperatures, and pressures. All that shit gets written down. That way we see how this unit was running before we left, making sure this unit actually ran at a
Yep.
decent temp, at a decent pressure, and going from there.
Yep. That's smart. That's smart. Good on you guys. So, yeah, if you guys are doing oil analysis and like refrigerant testing, you probably know my buddy Steve over at Amelina Technologies. You guys ever use those guys for their oil testing in Santa Fe
You
Springs?
honestly, I don't know too much about. So usually a lot of
Okay.
the oil testing that we do, or sometimes it'll just be like the little small ones for the
Oh yeah, yeah, the
compressors.
one.
Yeah, if we're sending in like oil samples, I think we usually just go to Train. Usually you can send in their
Okay.
oil samples through there.
Okay. Well, you guys got a company local right there, Amelina Technologies in Santa Fe Springs. They do very very thorough. They got a lab over there, and they do everything full oil analysis. They'll do refrigerant analysis, tell you if the refrigerant's mixed. You'll find out if the oil has acid in it or how much metals of certain types are in the oil. So I actually just
Mhm.
sent some samples over there right now because I had a customer call me up recently, and the customer's like, "Yo, I need a new compressor." And customers shouldn't know if they need a new compressor, really. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Do you need a service call or do you want me to quote you for a new compressor?" And he was like, "Well, let's just do a service call." So I went out there, compressor's running fucking fine. No problem. Amps are good. Everything's perfect on this compressor. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, the last thing I can do to really, really tell you that this thing doesn't need a new compressor is an oil analysis. So we pulled some oil and sent it out to the lab. And when we get the oil analysis back, that will be 100% for sure. That fucker's good. But the customer had a $7,000 quote where he needed a new compressor. And I'm like, man, they're trying to fucking rip you off, bro.
Dude, there's people out there who are shiesty like that too. I mean, I've heard a lot of it in resi that they do that shit too, the sales techs, you know what I mean? But it's like when you get into commercial too, dude, I've these guys will quote something and be like, "Oh no, you got to do this, you got to do that." Like I came across like a small little 20-ton train unit, and this guy was like, "Oh, you need a new condenser coil. You need a new condenser coil." Customer calls us up and says, "Hey, can you come out here and do a leak check for us?" And I was like, "Or just replace the coil. Can you give us a quote for a replacement?" And I says, "Why do you need a replacement?"
Yeah,
And they said, "Well, the other company says, that there's a leak that's unfixable." I says, "Well, here's the thing, we can quote you a new coil, but I would like to take a look at this. I would
that's
like to
right.
take a look to see if we could actually fix some shit."
Yep.
Dude, we saved this guy like fucking a $10,000 coil. You know what I
Yep.
mean? He didn't have to pay, and I told him straight up, I was like, "These guys are full of shit. The leak was right here. It was all you had to do was just put some nitro in there, pump it up, and then you'll fucking find your leak. It's not that hard. 9
Yep.
times out of 10, you don't even need a leak detector. You just pump nitrogen in that bitch and fucking you'll find your leak. You just
Hmm.
gotta be thorough." That's why I think some of those guys are sales techs, and it's like, fuck, dude, this is big shit. You can't just tell somebody they need to buy a $10,000 coil plus your markup. You know what I mean? And then because you're gonna be shysty about it, not about because you want to fill your pockets a bunch of money. That's why you're gonna do
Yep.
that shit. I think it's
Yep.
fucked up. It's like, dude, you got to be true to your customer because if your customer trusts you, then you're guaranteed to come back and do more work for them. Like,
Break.
yeah, so it's like, fuck, you can only make so much money lying to people, dude. That's why I think
Yeah.
it's fucked up about the trade too. That's the other half of the trade where people just will sell you on shit, and
I hate that
and the
shit.
customers don't, yeah, and the customers don't know what they're talking about either because they don't know HVAC.
Nope.
So it's like you come in here, you have to be the professional. You tell them what's going on, and they're
Yep.
gonna believe you. That's why I kind of stress too, like my company I work for, they stress about showing pictures and videos, and that's one thing I like doing. Even regardless, we don't have to show the customer at the end of the day, hey, this is what I did. Or, here's a video of it. You're gonna see it in my email, but I like talking directly to the customers and be like, hey, just to let you know, this is where it was. This is how it looks now. This is
Yep.
how it's running. You know what I mean? And I was like, and I'll tell them straight up too. You're gonna see this in your email later.
Yep.
The
Yep.
videos and everything are gonna be uploaded. And that's part of like our customer program thing that we have for the company I work for is we show them all that stuff. But it's like, dude, I like to talk to these people and actually tell them what's going on because they're like, oh no, I trust you, I trust you. I know you trust me, but just to know that I'm not bullshitting you. This is what
Yeah.
we did, and it's actually fucking running now.
Yep.
So it's like I think credibility is a lot in this trade, dude, and just being true, you know.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. It pisses me off. I talk about it almost every show. The people that are just out there for a fucking quick buck, and I know the trade's a $1 billion industry and this and that, but you don't have to force shit to break and you don't have to lie. That's so dirty and it pisses me off and it gives us all a bad name as a whole because it seems like everybody you know has been burned by a contractor or a technician of some sort telling them that they need to replace something that they really didn't need to replace. And these people trust him and they shouldn't be doing that shit, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot like that with the company I work for. We come in and we hear a lot about a bunch of different companies. To be like, oh yeah, we went with them because it was a cheaper bid or whatever like that, and then they end up having to call us anyway to fix their mistakes because they fucked up. They came and then they had their little warranty and they came to do their little warranty job for them, and then he still fucked up. And
Yeah.
then who did he call back? Us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta call the right people. I get price points and budgets are a thing, but it's like, fuck, man, you pay for what you get. It's there's a
Yeah.
lot of companies out there that'll fuck you straight up and just will walk the other way like if they're never there.
Yep. Yep. Well, they say you can pay me now or you can pay me later or you can pay me both times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
wild, dude.
crazy. What do you think about like the future of the industry? What do you see changing like in front of you and is exciting or scary or what do you think about that?
So I'm not scared of it. I like the learning aspect of it. I think some things can be dumbed down. I don't think anything needs to be that fucking serious with
Mhm.
like controls and whatnot. Like, I mean, you come out with a lot of controls on these units, and they have so much shit that they gotta make a checklist off. And it's like, fuck, if one sensor is fucked up, the whole unit's down, and then you know that
Yeah.
means there's no compensation. You know what I mean? If circuit one just went down, let's fucking shut down the whole unit. What? What? What do you mean? You know, it's like
Yeah.
there's some units that'll do that. Most don't, but it's like there's a lot of things out there, like the refrigerant too. I was working on a filtrane chiller, and I had to learn what 513A was. I was like, I never fucked with that refrigerant.
Never heard
And
of it
then
till right now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I learned that, and then I had to look at it, dude. On that refrigerant for the filtrane chiller, the saturation and the suction pressure were the exact same. There's no difference.
What the
That's
fuck?
how I was like, yeah. And I called filtrane, and I was like, hey, dude, is that normal? They're like, oh yeah, no, that's what it looks like. And I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen that. There's usually a differential. And I was like,
Yeah.
or the PT chart to follow. Hey,
Yeah.
100 psi on 410A means so many
Yeah.
degrees.
That's
So
right.
it's like, and that threw me off. I had to learn that. I mean, there are some knickknacks. As far as like some of the other stuff, I was looking at some of the newer carrier units as well. The controllers they come out with too, they're stupid. There's so many updates with the new carrier rooftop units. Like I worked on a lot of 90 tons. I put up a video about it too. I do a lot of stories and videos for it. But I mean, there's the software updates. Oh my fucking god, dude, they're killer. They're horrible. They're horrible, dude. It's like you have to constantly come out for these things, and these things will put out a fault. You can't clear them because you have to put the factory login for it, right? And unless you know it, then you can't clear it, and then it'll just keep fucking happening and happening and happening because you have to update the
That's
software.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's stupid, and it's like, and then for carrier too, these guys don't even know they know as much about it as we do because it just came out. And then
Right.
like, dude, it's horrible. I've seen some of the new IntelliPacks too, where they'll come with like Molex plugs for the high voltage wiring. It's like the wiring is like the side, like it's huge, and then you got
Yeah.
Molex plugs for that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
What are we
That's
doing?
stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I was like, let's put a big ass Molex plug for huge high voltage wires.
Wow.
I think that's so dumb. You know, that's the main thing about it. I mean, other than that, the new IntelliPacks with the Symbiote software, I kind of like it. I like it. I like to be able to see all my pressures, temperatures, and everything like that
Mhm.
on the interface. I think that's so dope because you don't even have to fucking hook up. The only time you would have to hook up is when you're actually verifying that the transducers are actually reading the correct pressure.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Verifying.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's not all bad. I think some of the stuff, like I said, can chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like they're
Other than that,
reinventing
it's
the
good.
wheel. Like, it's like, why do we need to fucking do all this crazy shit when the old mechanical shit worked really, really well? And I get it. They're trying to create more efficiency and they're trying to make the newer, best, better product. But it's like, sometimes these guys just overcomplicate the fuck out of stuff. I'll be working on this little tiny unit and it's got all this like fucking intelligence built into the control board. And I'm like, you don't need to do that. You need a fucking thermostat that tells it when to turn on and the fan maybe turn on and off. That's probably all you need.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. Things overcomplicated right now, and it just causes more issues with the units. Because it's like, fuck, oh, this went out. No, that went out. And it trickled all the way fucking down. It's like, dude, the older units weren't like this. You know what I mean? It's like, because
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in an era where R32 when it first came out and everything like that, but I worked a lot on it because a lot of the stuff I see was R22
Hmm.
and 410A. That was mainly what it was.
Yep.
More R22. And I saw the differences. I was like, man, some of these fucking units, some of these guys still have these old ass units that are still pumping
Yep.
hard. And it's like, oh, what refrigerant they got in there? R22. Well, fuck, they don't make it like they used to no more, dude. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
no.
like, fuck, man.
They don't
Nothing's
make it
the
like they
same.
used to, for sure.
Dude, everything's made to break nowadays. It's a
It
trip.
is. It is. I just fixed about 2 days ago. I fixed a R12 unit. My customer had this weird little like it's like a salad cooler that hangs on a wall, and they literally just put salad in the fucking thing and shut the door. And is a R12 unit. My customer had an old one in storage, and he's like, "I'm pretty sure the compressor still runs. It just needs a condenser fan motor." So he pulled it out, and I'm fucking throw a condenser fan motor in this thing, turn it on, fired right up, works perfectly, dude. And it's like I don't even know
Fucking
how old that
badass.
fucker was, but R12 factory sealed, no, there's no ports or nothing on it, little cap tube system,
Yeah.
running like a champ, bro. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's fucking badass, dude. That's what I love to see, dude. I know like the A lot of the new units that come out with scrolls, but, like, a lot of the older boxcar units that I look at, they got the semi-hermetic compressors on them.
Yeah, yeah,
Those with R22, I mean, dude, they're fucking champs. The O6Es, I
yeah.
mean, fuck, dude, they don't break. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
if they do, you can just fucking rebuild them. It's
yep.
like, "Oh, you need new valve plates. Here's that. Let's regasket." Like, I had one of those compressors on a Daikin unit. I don't think it was an O6E, I forget. I think it was another one, a Copeland. The crankcase heater exploded inside the sleeve. The sleeve's like this
Mhm.
big.
Yep.
And what was left was this. We pulled out like it was like 2 inches of it, and that's what
Yeah.
we pulled out. I put a flashlight in there, and then you could see everything just fucking exploded. All we did was just pull out that compressor, and then we took off the sump, drained it,
Yep.
cleaned it, and took out all the fucking shavings, put new valve plates and gaskets, and that fucking thing still runs today. I'm like, "Dude, you can fucking do so much with these compressors."
Hell yeah. We're gonna get into mindset a little bit here. What separates the guys that make it in the trade versus the guys that quit or that's just not for them? What do you think the differentiator is?
I think mechanical aptitude has a lot to do with it. You just learn knowing how to turn a wrench. As easy as it sounds, I think you know too that some people just get it. Some people
Yep.
just get it and some people don't. I think a lot of it has to do with the physical aspect of it. I mean,
Yep.
there's a lot to go with HVAC, dude. I mean, if like we're running up flights of stairs and we have to bring up a bunch of shit. Like, dude, we working on a 240 ton. We had to bring up big ass cylinder of nitrogen. That's literally as tall as me. That shit sucks. But that's
Yeah.
shit that you have to do, and that's the physical aspect of it. I mean, we've had condenser fan motors, like they're like 2 horse condenser fan motors, and they're like 90 pounds, and then we have to hold it with a rope while one's over here putting it in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there's no room for a gantry. So it's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of using your brain. I mean, as easy as people may think it is, there's a lot to go with HVAC, dude. There's a lot to learn, especially on the
Mhm.
commercial side. You
Yep.
gotta fucking use your brain. You gotta know how to use it. If you're just one of those dumbass kids that don't know what the fuck they're doing and they just stay writing like that, you're not gonna get anywhere, dude. You know
Yep.
what I mean? You have to learn. You have to adapt in this field.
Yep.
So there,
For
there
sure.
there's so much to go with it.
Yeah, for sure. I had got young guys talk to me a lot and they'll be like, "Hey, how do I get into your trade?" They think it's cool cuz they see money or they see whatever and they see me. I'm happy. I love what I do, but they ask me about it and it's like, "Well, first of all, you got to go to school. Then you got to be very good at working with your hands. Then you got to work your ass off for the rest of your career." They want to go to school and then get a desk job or something, but this is one of them trades where you got to go to school and then you still got to work your ass off, and I don't think a lot of people like that very much.
No, 100%. I do think it's rewarding though, dude. Because I mean, I've come across neighbors or whatnot, and some of these regular cats that went to college, and we're making more than what they are. They haven't even seen that dollar amount, but it's like, fuck, dude, we're doing some physical shit day and
Mhm.
night. So
Yep.
it's like, but we did have to learn. Like me, when I jumped out of high school, I said, fuck college. I don't want to do college. So I jumped into trade school. I
Yep.
still had to read a book. I still had to do something with it.
For
You're still
sure.
constantly learning, and I mean, like, I think the main thing is the physical aspect that people once they jump into the trading, if they quit, there's a lot of physical and there's a lot of thinking, a lot of brainstorming.
Yeah. And it's
You have to be made for it, really. I mean, if
yeah.
you can't handle the tough mornings all the way to the long nights, I mean,
Yep.
shit, dude, it's like finding a new career then. That's
Yeah,
what it is. But it is rewarding in its own way.
that's great. Yeah, it's super rewarding. And just the ability to like go to sleep at night and you know you can pretty much like say your house, whatever, some shit breaks, you're gonna figure it out. Cause we
Yeah.
do that every day. That's what we do for a living is we figure out fucking very hard problems and then we figure out how to make it happen. So your aptitude grows across the board with everything you do, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, all that shit.
Yeah, 100%. And they all have to grow at a steady pace too. One can't outgrow the other. You can be a good wrench turner, but fuck, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing on a unit to troubleshoot, who are you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
everything has to grow at the same pace. It's like you
Yep.
you can't outdo one or the other.
That's good. That's that good shit right there. What do you think the biggest mistake that young technicians make when they start out?
I would say getting complacent and getting comfortable with where you're at and just being lazy. I've seen some guys come in and these guys are new and they're lazy. They don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. And it's like, fuck, dude, you came in this trade to hump and you got to hump. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You got to earn your keep in this shit.
Yeah.
That and then I going back to the complacent part of it, like if you get comfortable with this trade, that's when you get hurt. I can speak on that big time because, dude, ever since joining the trade, I fucking humped. I did my work and I fucking loved it. I constantly wanted to learn, but the thing is, I got comfortable with the day to day. Once you get comfortable, is once you get hurt. I had 1 month where I fucking smashed my finger and I can't make it straight anymore because I crushed the tendon for it.
Hmm.
And then from there, like 2 months later, I fell off a 20-foot ladder
Oh
because
fuck.
I just fucking got comfortable. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I go up ladders any other day and shit happens. It's like, fuck, I'm I was lucky God had his eye on me, but shit, dude, if it was just me, and I don't or it could have been anybody else. They would have been dead. I went to the doctors after that, and the fucking guy came to me, he's like, "You should be dead." Like, straight up, I mean, 20 feet's no joke, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. I think that's the big thing is getting comfortable with what you're doing. You have to respect the trade. And that's
Yeah.
something that I learned big time, dude. Even with fucking climbing a ladder, as simple as that shit is, all it takes is one wrong move and you're done.
Yeah.
It could have been that quick, and that was a big eye opener for me.
Wow.
So
Wow.
everything that I did, I then took a second look. I did make sure I was doing all my steps. So it's like
Yeah.
the fuck, dude. There's some dangerous shit out there, and I mean, like I said, as crazy as nobody thinks it is it's a ladder. No, that's not dangerous. You fucking slip, it is. And there's a guy
Yeah.
who fell off another ladder, and you can shatter something completely, and now you got no fucking mobility with that limb no more,
Yep.
or
And
your
you need
ankle,
it.
or your
And you
hands,
need
or
it.
whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, from falling from that distance and still being okay to come back, a week later, I was like, "Fuck," I called my boss like 2 days later, and I said, "Fuck, I wanna come back to work." He's like, "What do
Fuck.
you mean? You got broken ribs?" I was like, "I'm staying at home bored as fuck. What am I gonna do?" Dude, that's what I'm saying. It was a crazy experience, and that's something that it was really eye-opening.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
I think that's huge. Getting complacent
Mhm.
or just getting comfortable with
Yeah.
what you're doing in your day-to-day. This
Yeah,
trade
that's
demands respect, and you gotta give it to it.
good shit for sure. And you said some of it is dangerous, and I would actually change that up a little bit and say all of it is dangerous because practically everything that we do can have a very negative impact if you're not doing it the right way and you're not handling it the right way. And when I start teaching young folks about the trade, I hammer safety in. Like, I mean, like you said, slipping off a ladder or climbing up the back of a building or something, a lot of times you're just done. Did you get hurt pretty bad from that ladder fall?
I broke 3 ribs and I had a bruised lung.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's the thing is why I said he God had his eye on me, dude, is because those ribs that broke, the doctor took an X-ray and he said they're completely broken straight through. He says, but they're back in the same place like if they never like if they were never broken.
Holy
There was no
shit.
shatters or nothing. Everything broke and it went back in the same place. So I was like,
Wow.
fuck, that's a trip. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. And then
Yeah.
that, and then the bruised lung, it wasn't too bad. They wanted to keep me there, but I told him, "Fuck no, I'm staying home because my ass hurts more than my ribs, and my ribs are broke." You know what I mean?
So you
So,
broke your ass too. You just didn't have an X-ray to prove it.
dude, that fucking hospital bed is a bitch, dude. Oh my
Yeah,
god. They're just sitting there or just laying there. I was like, "Fuck," like my ass hurts so bad right now.
that's funny. My ass hurts worse than my ribs. What would be your advice to the 18-year-old technician just starting out?
I would say, put the work in. Put the work in. Give the respect that the trade is due, but put the work in because once you start giving it respect and you start giving it your all, everything else comes with it. The fame, the glory with it, you know what I mean? Oh, he can do this, he can do that. Oh, this guy's only a year in and he can do all that stuff. If you're doing what you got to do and you apply yourself to the trade, you're gonna take it far. That's how it was in my experience. You take it far when you apply yourself. I mean, whatever you do, you gotta fucking be good at it.
Yep,
If you're not gonna be the best, fuck, at least be better than what you were yesterday.
that's for sure.
I think that's huge because there's tons of learning here, and it's depending on your learning curve, that's how it'll take you in this trade. But I think if you keep applying yourself, no matter who it is, it'll take you far. So I would say constantly keep your head in the books or keep your head on the unit learning, you know,
Yep,
or
yep.
ask questions to these higher techs. That's how I was when I started out. I said,
Mhm.
fuck, when I didn't do a coil, I didn't do a compressor. I said, fuck, can I do the compressor for you and you can just watch me?
Yeah,
I'll do all the work for you. That's you gotta put yourself out there. Nobody's gonna know you wanna do that fucking work or nobody you're never gonna get anywhere if you don't put yourself out there.
yeah.
How you gonna learn if you don't throw your hat in the fire,
Dude,
you
that's
know?
excellent. Yeah, that's very good advice for the young guys. It's like you got to get out there and you got to put your name in, and you would be a great person to hear that from because you've accomplished so much in a short period of time. I mean, I watch your videos, and for somebody that's been in the trade the amount of time you have, I would call bullshit almost. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I don't think so, dude. You're doing some high level shit for a young guy, and the fact that you put in that effort and that you kept doing that learning and that grinding really, really shows in what you do. And I think you're a great example for any young guys out there that are looking for somebody to model after as far as growth goes.
I appreciate that, yeah. No, I get a lot of that too with some of the other cats that I work with. They're like, "Dude, you learned so much in that trade." I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I'm trying. I'm trying." Like, nah, I tell them not in a cocky way either, dude. I'm just trying to be better. I want to be better than all these fucking guys. That's it. I think if you can aspire to be the best, it'll take you there. I wholeheartedly believe in you condition your mindset to what you want to be. You tell yourself you suck at this fucking job, you're gonna suck. But if you tell yourself you want to be the fucking best, you will be the best. It might
Fuck
take
yeah.
some fucking time, but you got to do that. You got to put in the work for it. but you got to condition your mind to be the best. And that's what I always tell them, like, dude, I'm fucking trying. I'm trying to be better. Oh, I didn't fucking know that. I'm gonna call you up next time because you know about this shit more. That
Yep.
way I can learn. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So it's like it's all about that's all it's about. It's
Fuck, I
learning, being
love
the
that.
best.
I love that. That's great shit. And you touched on something really important too that I think really helped me grow is knowing who to call. You know, I had a network of guys that were around me that were just solid motherfuckers. Some of the best technicians still to this day that I know. And you got to know who to call on what. You know, you can't call the guy who's really really good at controls and ask him about piping configuration. But there's a homie for that too.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'll have guys like we've had times where these they're all higher ups. This is who we have to contact. But I'll
Hmm.
fucking call this guy because I know that guy knows that shit like the back of his fucking hand.
Yeah,
So it's like I think there are going to be those specialty guys in the company you work for or whoever because you fucking know these guys. You know these
yep,
guys know that shit like the back of their hand. They work on everything, but fuck this specific piece of equipment. That motherfucker knows everything about that shit.
that's their
Like, dude,
baby.
I've called one of my senior techs, and when I started working on these IntelliPacks, I was like, "Hey, I'm having this issue." This motherfucker didn't even have to see anything. He didn't have to know anything else. I give him minimal information. Look here, do this, do that. Call me back. Did that? It works. I call him back. Say, "Hey, dude, it's fucking running. Right on."
You're the
Fuck,
man.
dude. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck yeah, dude. You're the shit. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because it's like you know what the fuck you're doing.
dude.
You
I hate
know,
getting the
it's
runaround.
dude, it's that's the thing too, is depending on who you call, some of these guys are fucking assholes. Some of the
Yeah.
tech support just fucking sucks. But dude,
Oh yeah.
for the techs who know, like I like contacting the guys who've actually worked on this shit real time.
Yep.
Some of the tech support guys don't. They just know a fucking manual, and some do. But
Yeah.
fuck, dude, talking to these guys, like the senior tech I'm telling you about, dude, this fucking guy, he's an animal. This fucking guy knows he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. I
Those are the
love
guys
that.
you want to talk to when it comes to those pieces of equipment or the critical pieces, or hey, I got this equipment, I got this equipment, I got that. Then have 3 different guys who know that shit, or maybe you got 2 guys who know everything, I don't know. But fuck, I'll call that specialty tech any fucking day
Yeah. Fuck
because
yeah.
they know what the fuck you're talking about. I just learned some shit. Like, I get
Fuck
excited,
yeah.
dude. When I see something I haven't worked on, or I haven't encountered, I fucking get excited. I don't get scared. I like some of these guys get butterflies, like, fuck no, that's an opportunity to learn. You know
Fuck
what I
yeah.
mean? Fuck. So it's
Dude,
like
that's the
it's
mindset.
exciting. Then when you troubleshoot with them too, it's like fuck. It's like no shit. That's what that does. That's how
Yeah.
this works, dude. It gets me excited with it when I learn different shit. I get nerdy with it, dude.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I think we're all a little bit nerdy here. We're sitting on a refrigeration podcast, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
So I think we're all kind of nerdy about it. And I guess passion is probably a better word for it, but we love what we do. And obviously that's a reflection on you too, because I know when I'm talking to a younger tech who's calling me up and asking me a question about something, I'm going to speak to them on their level. If I can tell a guy, hey, dude, check this, that, and this, because I know he's going to fucking obviously already check is it fucking plugged in? You know what I mean? But if the guy's a
yeah.
dumbass, you got to start him like, is it plugged in? And then he's like, what the fuck? But you got to talk to people on their level. So it's a reflection of you that guys are willing to give you the fucking meat and potatoes of where the problem is in their opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know what I think too, just touching on what you said, sometimes you gotta dumb it down for the other guys. It takes a lot, dude. I mean, because
Yeah.
there's some impatient motherfuckers. And like I said, when that's why I always say, well, that's why I told you in the beginning was I'm gonna answer my DMs and I'm gonna help people who I can. But dude, you
Yeah.
gotta fucking be patient with these guys, dude. Because you come to a level where you're like, no, you should fucking know this. You should
Yeah.
know this,
Yeah.
and they should know some of it. But it's
Yeah.
like, fuck, maybe they have a slower learning curve. The patience for those guys who fucking help, like, dude, they had to be patient with me too, and I
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
respect the shit out of those guys.
Yeah.
Because it's like, fuck, dude, you were able to sit on the phone with me for 4 hours for fucking troubleshooting something so simplistic
Yeah.
because I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. I didn't know what the
Yeah.
fuck I was doing. That
Yep.
shit's mad respect to those guys. And they have to dumb it down. They can't talk all technical with you because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about yet.
Right. Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's huge respect for those guys too, dude. And
Yeah.
just to be able to call and for them just to fucking answer. And they're busy too. They're
Yep.
fucking working on something that's detrimental to their job as well or detrimental to their day. Fuck, I
Yeah.
gotta get this and then done.
Yep.
Fuck, these guys calling me. I'm sure they're looking at the phone and be like, fuck, him again?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
still answer and they still help. You know
And the
what I
good
mean?
ones make it look easy, bro. The good ones make it look easy. My mentor, Mike Mix, he's dude, he's a fucking probably one of the best refrigeration guys I ever met. But you'll be on a job with him. He's fucking in a panel working on shit, like highly technical shit himself, talking to one dude, texting another dude on the fucking phone. He's putting out 5 fires at the same fucking time and handling his own business. And you see that and you're like, God damn, bro, that's pretty fucking impressive, you know? And
Mhm.
he still does
Yeah.
that to this day. He's not even a technician anymore, and he's probably still taking 10 calls a day.
Yeah, that's badass, dude. That's a different breeder level right there, dude. These
Yeah.
fucking guys are something different. Like, I've had trouble sometimes, like, I'll troubleshoot some of the guys too now, and just being on the phone with them, sometimes I'll just catch myself just sitting down, and then I'm behind on what I have to do now, but it's like, fuck, these guys who can multitask like that, it's fucking crazy skill, dude. It's a dope skill. No, those are the guys who you know are meant to lead type of shit.
Yeah,
I mean, they had to learn it, but fuck, and they love what they do.
it's
They get the
impressive.
gratification from helping them too.
Yeah, it's impressive. Pulling the weight of a whole team and handling your own business at the same time is a fucking very impressive thing. So,
Yeah, 100%.
since you started creating content and putting yourself out there, do you think that you've become a better technician because of that or just more visible?
I would say more visible because going back to what I said before is we're all the same, right? You started from nothing before the fame or whatever, and you got to stay true to yourself. So me, I think it just made me more visible
Mm,
because to me alone, regardless if I did social media or not, I'm gonna be the fucking best, whether anybody sees it or not on the film.
okay.
Being visible is one thing and it's cool, but at the end of the day, my job takes precedence.
Yep.
This is my life too. I had to look at it in a perspective where if I don't do this, what else am I gonna fucking do? If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something for the best of my ability. I think
Yep.
it does help because I get the encouragement from other people,
Hmm.
but it doesn't really change the aspect of what I gotta do and how I gotta do it. You know, I
Dude, I
think that's
love that.
just life and mindset. It's something you got to learn. You know, sometimes you got to teach yourself to be a little bit different to set yourself apart. I mean, in a world full of sheep, you know what I mean. You got to be the one to stand out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was my thing, and I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be something different than what everybody else is. Everybody knows HVAC, and I know there's a dime a dozen guys who can do what I fucking do. But it's like, fuck. Well, what can I do to be better than them?
Yeah.
Apply yourself. You know,
Yep.
that's all you can do is apply yourself and learn as much as you fucking can.
Fuck yeah. I love that, man. Well, I appreciate you, and you definitely stand out to me, man. I'm fucking very impressed by your work that you do as a technician and the content that you create. And I'm looking forward to getting my content better. You definitely are an inspiration to me. Where can people find you at or connect with you on your socials or anywhere else?
They can find me on mainly Instagram. That's my main page. I also do TikTok and YouTube as well. I also do have a Facebook page that's linked to my Instagram. So pretty much on all platforms. You look me
Pretty
up at
much on
N
all platforms.
underscore does HVAC. Yeah, it's everywhere. So
Okay.
mainly
Okay.
Instagram though. For the guys who want to see day to day stories and whatnot, I post reels, but I do stories day and night about shit that I'm seeing.
Okay.
So
All right. I
yeah.
love that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. What's your final message to the next generation out there?
I'd say hump the trade, dude. You fucking soak up as much as you can. Be a sponge, and you're gonna have to hump. Meaning you're gonna have to work your ass off. Work your ass off to earn your keep. Because in a trade full of blue collar people, you gotta earn your fucking keep. You gotta earn your keep. You gotta pull your fucking weight.
Yep.
Learn as much as you can, as fast as you can. Don't miss any steps though. I say move quick, but not too quick. That way you're not missing any steps. Make sure you take all the right avenues. You don't want to skip something or take shortcuts because a lot of times shortcuts are longer than what
Yeah.
the long way actually is. The long way is usually the faster way. It's because you
Yeah.
take shortcuts and then you end up fucking something up. And then you got to do it over again and again. So do things the right way, learn from the right people, trust, but verify. So
Yep.
that's huge. You always want to verify whatever it is. Somebody tell you power's off, verify that. You're looking at a video and you're worrying about something, verify that. Ask another tech.
Yep.
You want to pick everybody's brain as much as you can. Steal knowledge from people. Steal the knowledge.
Yep. I love that. Great advice, man. Great advice. Well, once again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us, to share your story, to come on the podcast. Kings of Cold Podcast at gmail.com. We're on Instagram. I'm going to get a Facebook pretty soon here because I'm sick of using my personal one. That's where you pretty much find us at IG, YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. And again, Anthony, thank you so much, brother. We really appreciate you being on here with us.
Right on. I loved it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a great time as well. Appreciate you.